Hey guys, we are live. All right, if you are here watching the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. This is our regular Wednesday episode of Calm Belly TV. I'm Julie O'Hara. My website is calmbellykitchen.com. So if you're new to me, I do a live Facebook chat every Wednesday, usually always at 5:45 Central, and we call it Calm Belly TV. So really the setup is that I usually have a topic that I talk about to give you tips and help with different aspects of the FODMAP diet, and then I always take general Q&A. So if you just need a question that you need an actual human to answer instead of the Google, then this is for you every week, okay? So I am just gonna pop into the actual Calm Belly Kitchen Facebook group and say that I am live. I'm live on the CBK page now. Go here. Okay. So people pop over because this is kind of new that I'm doing it on the actual business page. And the reason for that is because Facebook gives you more publishing tools, like they let you tag the video and it's easier to share. I can share it in our group. And then I can easily add captions, which is really nice if you're watching the replay and you just want to read the captions instead of turning on your sound. So it's just, I get more flexibility when I do it over here. So that's the story. I see some people are joining me. Feel free to say hi, feel free to ask questions. But today's topic is 3 ways to stay motivated on the FODMAP diet. So lately I've been getting a lot of questions about, or even just comments about mindset and about how, you know, it can be just the mental hurdle of everything. And I do talk about this a lot. I talk about how it's so important to get over, you know, just the very real feeling that it's so unfair. It's so unfair that you have IBS and that you have to give up food and that you have to be so careful while, you know, you can look over at your friend and they're eating like a truck driver and feeling absolutely fine. You know, it's not a knock on truck drivers, but you know, it's that expression. Hey Marge, woo, glad you're here. Hi Sandy. Thanks guys, thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to get into the 3 things. We're going to try to keep this video short. These videos are usually around 15 minutes, but this one we're going to cover 3 ways to stay motivated. And my notes are being covered up. Okay, so I've got some notes down here on my laptop, but these are not your typical ways. I'm not going to say like schedule a manicure every week as a reward. I'm not going to say that because, I mean, you should totally do that. I think rewards and like little motivating milestones are important. But I'm trying to get a little bit deeper here. So my first one to stay motivated, especially when you're kind of starting out in the elimination phase and you need to kind of prove to yourself that you can do it. So the first tip is to set an end date, all right? So I always talk about how the FODMAP diet is not forever, it's not for life, it's a temporary, finite thing. So when you're starting out, or if you're kind of starting again, because you're like, okay, maybe you've just dabbled before, you know, you've like tried to do it, but then you didn't do it so much, and I've been there, it's a thing, it happens. But this is how you make it a lot more doable. You set an end date. So my recommendation is 6 weeks. I have a coaching program that goes for 6 weeks because that's the time that if you're really focused and you're doing the work and you're sticking to it, that's about the time that you need to really get some data, get some answers. So this is what you do. You mark it on your calendar 6 weeks later, and that's your time to stop and assess. So a few things are going to happen. Either you're going to have a lot of improvement in your symptoms, you're going to feel great, and at that point you know it's time to go on to phase 2, which is reintroduction. Maybe you're not going to have so much consistent improvement. Maybe it's not working, you're not feeling as great as you want to feel. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. So you might decide that you need to keep it up for a few more weeks and look back and see if you could change the way you're eating. You know, if it's not working, look back and see what you can tweak, either the portion sizes or even specific foods, or have you been super stressed? You know, you look at all the different factors and see if you need to make some changes. Another thing you might need to do is, if nothing's really working, maybe you need to go revisit what other issues could be causing your digestive problems. Maybe FODMAPs aren't your main problem and you need to do some more exploring. So you set that finite period of time, and knowing that you only have to do this for 6 weeks. Gosh, I just got a text message because I didn't turn it. Sorry, I'm distracted. Knowing you only have to do this for 6 weeks or however long it is, I think it makes it a lot easier. It's not this thing that's just kind of going on forever, floating around in your life. It's a set period where you can focus your energy. So that is tip 1 to stay motivated. Set an end date, okay? Okay, so number 2, tip to stay motivated. Get an accountability buddy. This is kind of a common tip, I have to admit. It's pretty typical for a lot of things like this, but it's really good to have accountability. And this is something I learned very recently in a group that I belong to. It has nothing to do with FODMAP, but we have accountability partners every month, and you're supposed to check in once a week, and it's not hard, it doesn't take a lot of time, but knowing that I have that other person, like I wanna do what I said I would do. I want to accomplish my goal. It makes such a huge difference, and it's like you have a friend, you know, you have a friend who's cheering you on, and just that, you know, that support is really great. So it does not have to be someone who's also doing the FODMAP diet. You don't have to have a buddy who's exactly like you. So for example, you could have a friend or a family member who's also trying to work on a goal. Maybe they're trying to go to the gym 5 times a week. Maybe they're trying to quit sugar. Maybe they're trying to complete like a certification. I mean, it could be all sorts of things. But find a friend who also has a goal that they're working on, and be buddies for each other. So it's not like you're the poor person who's doing this thing. They're trying to do something too, and you have to be there for each other. So that's my recommendation. If you can find someone who's doing FODMAP, like that's how I set it up in my programs. I pair you up with someone in the program too, and it's really great that way. But I think it works just as well if you have a buddy who could be working on something completely different. So both of you, choose the goal that you're going to do. Yours is going to be 6 weeks of being in the elimination phase, and just check in with each other and set goals. Maybe you set a goal for each week. Like 1 week you're going to try a new recipe. The next week you're going to write in your food journal every day. And it doesn't have to be the goal of just finishing. It can be small incremental goals as well. Okay, so definitely buddies can keep you motivated. So we had the first tip was to set an end date, make it a set period of time that you're focusing on the FODMAP diet. And the second tip is to have an accountability buddy for support and encouragement. So the third way to stay motivated, and this is where we are going to dig a little bit deeper, it's to identify self-defeating behavior, okay? So if you're sabotaging yourself and making it harder on yourself as you're trying to do this, it's impossible to stay motivated. You know what keeps you motivated is doing well. It's being successful. It's feeling proud of yourself. It's feeling like you accomplished something. But we all are very prone, and this is not something that's wrong with you. It's human nature. We can self-sabotage. So an example, this is something I personally did, all right? I was like, okay, I'm doing the elimination phase, but I felt like it was so unfair that I couldn't eat all the summer fruit that I love. It was summertime. So I was like, this is so not right. This is so not fair that I couldn't really stick to it. And so that was self-sabotaging. If I had just said, okay, I can live without peaches for 6 weeks, it's not going to kill me. I could have felt good, felt successful, and just focused on that end goal. So other examples. Oh, my voice is going already, guys. Maybe you walk past a fabulous bakery every day where you used to buy cupcakes, and it makes you feel sad and depressed. Okay, so what you can do is walk a different way. That's just a really, simple little example. Maybe another one is that you're someone who is around a lot of food, maybe in an office, and let's say one morning you eat half a donut, and for the rest of the day you decide, who cares, I already ruined the day. So that's sabotaging behavior, because then you're going to feel bad the next day. Maybe you're going to eat some food that doesn't make you feel well, and you have to wait to recover, and it just slows you down. So you have to go and figure out a way to avoid the temptation, or, well, pretty much avoid the temptation. But whatever's going to work for you, we're all going to be different. We're all going to have these hang-ups that come up, this resistance to making change, because the FODMAP diet is a huge change. You have to change a lot of things about your mindset, about your habits. So it's asking a lot of yourself, and you need to acknowledge that, but also acknowledge that you might have these self-sabotaging thoughts and behaviors. You might think, I can never do this, and that's going to sabotage you along the way. So you have to really dig a little bit deep here, and when you notice yourself doing something that's getting you off track, find a way to get to the root of that and change it, because feeling that success and feeling like you're getting close to your goal is what keeps you motivated to keep doing it. So those are my 3 tips. Does anyone, Sandy, bingo, that's what I've been doing. Good, very good. Do you guys have any questions for me? Happy to take any general FODMAP questions. That's what this is for. Like, I get on here so that you guys have a place to, talk to an actual human and get some feedback or some help. Jessica found the video. Excellent. Yes, I'm doing it over on this page now because it just makes it easier for me to add captions and kind of add tags to the video. Facebook is wonderful, but also extremely complex. So yeah. Do you guys have any questions? I am happy to answer. I will quickly review the three points from today. 3 ways to stay motivated. Not your common stuff. How do you do your food journal? Good question, Sandy. I recommend doing it the way that is going to be simple for you, the way that feels simple, because I know for a lot of people it's just torture to have to keep up a food journal every day. I like a spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet, so you might have a column or a row for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and then, or I don't know, a row, a column. But if that's, obviously I'm not that good at Excel, but you also want to track your symptoms too. So what I think the important things to track, it doesn't matter if it's a Word document, a notebook, an Excel spreadsheet, an app like the My Symptoms app or the MyFitnessPal app. It could be any of those. Whichever method feels easy for you, choose that one. But you want to track what you ate and the portions, okay? Because you might, after a few weeks you start learning about portions, you can look back and say, oh my gosh, I was eating a plate full of eggplant and I should have only eaten this much. Whatever, that's just an example. So, portions, what you ate. The times could be handy, but that's not crucial. It might matter for some people. And then symptoms. Just what was your belly doing? Whatever symptoms you have, track them, write them down. And it can be super quick and short. I too am jealous of other people being able to eat everything and I can't. Oh yeah, I still am. I mean, right? We're human. But it's you can get used to a lot of things, and I don't feel restricted anymore. Occasionally I would like some refried beans, but I'll live, Just some salsa. I can't eat salsa unless it's my salsa that I made. And these things are fresh in my mind because I ate something like that a couple days ago. All right, Jessica says, I have a terrible sweet tooth, so what is the best low FODMAP snack that would help with that? I literally love cookies. You were asking me about cookies a few weeks ago, weren't you? Was it you? I'm not sure. I think it was. Dark chocolate, but see, that's what I like. I also like other candy, but brownies are my thing. And how many cookies? Yeah, if you can only eat a few. It's just a habit, It's a habit to be able to eat in moderation and be okay with it. So just one day at a time, you practice eating 2 cookies, and it gets easier every single day. Yeah, it was you. Okay. Okay, guys. Anything else? Did I go back through the tips? Okay, have an accountability buddy. Set an end date, because it is so much more motivating to do something when you only have to focus your efforts for a certain period of time, and then you can take stock of where you are and what your next step is. And then the third way to stay motivated, was to really look at the behavior or the thoughts that you're having that might be sabotaging your progress. Because making it harder on yourself is just, you can see the downward spiral that can happen, right? So you really have to look at yourself and, you know, do you feel like you can do this? Do you walk by the wall of cupcakes every day and feel sad? You know, don't do that if that's what's going on. All right, guys, I am going to take off. I said I'd keep this short, but I think I probably hit the 15. Yep, I hit the 15-minute mark, which is typically how it goes. But thanks for tuning in, and if you're watching the replay, leave a question, leave a comment, tag me back in the group, whatever works for you. But thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.